Children love to imitate their parents. A boy shuffles in his father's oversized shoes. A girl stirs a pot like her mother. A toddler repeats words they barely understand. Why? Because children copy what they love. That's exactly Paul's call in Ephesians 5 verse 1. Follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children. So if we are God's children, how should we live? The life of Jesus shows us. He didn't just talk about love, he demonstrated it. He touched lepers no one else would touch. He forgave Peter after denial. He welcomed children and sinners alike. Paul continues, walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us. Ephesians 5 verse 2. To follow God's example is to live a life of active, sacrificial love. Think of Daniel in Babylon, taken from home, pressured to conform, yet he resolved not to defile himself. Daniel 1 verse 8. Even when threatened with death, he kept praying. Daniel 6 verse 10. His life reflected God so clearly that even kings said, "The Spirit of the Holy God is in him." Daniel 5 verse 11. Following God means living differently, even when culture prefers compromise. Consider Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold as a slave, falsely imprisoned. Years later, he could have taken revenge when they bowed before him in Egypt. Instead, he said, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Genesis 50 verse 20. Children of God choose forgiveness, even when the world demands payback. All of this builds to Calvary. The perfect Son of God hung on a cross, mocked and beaten. And in his pain he prayed, "Father, forgive them." Luke 23 verse 34. This is the Father's example in its purest form: love that sacrifices, mercy that forgives, grace that endures. What does this mean for us today? When co-workers gossip, do we reflect God with words of kindness? When someone wrongs us, do we retaliate or forgive? When culture pushes us toward compromise, do we stand firm like Daniel? Living as God's children isn't about perfection, it's about reflection of His love, His holiness, His forgiveness. So how should we live? Loving like Jesus, standing firm like Daniel, forgiving like Joseph, sacrificing like Christ. When you live as a child of God, the world doesn't just see you, they see your Father shining through you.